You will be surprised to find out what kind of person lies behind the lovably aggressive characters he plays on screen. From being kicked out of college to becoming the world's highest-grossing actor, let's look into the life of one of the most legendary Black Hollywood stars on the scene. Samuel Leroy Jackson was born on December 21, 1948 in Washington, D.C. Samuel L. Jackson was raised by his mother, Elizabeth Harriet, and his grandparents in Chattanooga, Tennessee, after his father abandoned the family. His father later died from kidney failure caused by alcoholism. His early life was marked by economic hardships and racial discrimination in the segregated South. His mother was a factory worker, and she barely made enough money for all of them to get by. Despite these challenges, Jackson's mother instilled in him the importance of education and perseverance. This lesson would keep coming back to him for the rest of his life. Stick around to find out where the journey takes him next. Jackson attended several segregated schools and graduated from Riverside High School. His initial aspiration was to pursue a degree in marine biology, leading him to enroll at Morehouse College in Atlanta. However, he soon discovered his passion for acting after joining a local acting group to earn extra credit. He then decided to major in arts. The late 1960s and early 1970s were a period of significant social upheaval in the United States, and Jackson became actively involved in the civil rights movement. Influenced by leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X, Jackson participated in protests and demonstrations advocating for racial equality and justice. His activism reached a peak when he and other students held members of Morehouse College's Board of Trustees hostage, demanding reforms in the school's curriculum and governance. His involvement in the civil rights movement led to his suspension from Morehouse College, although he eventually returned to complete his degree in drama in 1972. After graduating, Jackson moved to New York City to pursue a career in acting. His early acting years were filled with struggle as he took on various odd jobs to support himself while taking roles in off-Broadway productions. His big break came in the early 1980s when he started collaborating with notable directors like Spike Lee, who cast him in films such as School Days and Do the Right Thing. Click the subscribe button and notification bell to never miss a chance to find out more about your favorite Black Hollywood star. They are not who you think they are. His first popular role was in the 1991 film Jungle Fever, directed by Spike Lee. His portrayal of Gator, a crack-addicted brother, earned him critical acclaim and practically immediately established him as a personality to look out for in the action genre for film heads all around the world. This performance caught the attention of the wider film industry and opened doors to more significant opportunities. You won't believe this, but Spike Lee kind of saved Samuel's life. Stick around to find out how. Samuel and the cast called Spike Lee movies Spike Lee Summer Camp because they knew that no matter how hard the year was, they could always expect to get a call around summertime that Spike Lee was making a new movie and needed them on set. It was always just enough money to keep them until Christmas time, and they all appreciated how Spike was dedicated to using the same team to keep his product consistent. When shooting for Spike Lee, he would nap at the radio station between tales because he had stayed up all night the night before with his friends. They were shooting on site in Bed-Stuy, and sometimes Samuel would wander about the city. One day he was trying to help a woman who dropped her things on the train platform when his ankle got stuck in the doors and dragged him along with the train. Fortunately, a man in crutches pulled the emergency cord that stopped the train. But it was too late for his ankle. He suffered severe injuries and broke parts of the bone. He was hospitalized and needed surgery. An injury like this can put an actor out of a job, and surely for the time that Samuel had hurt his ankle, he got no work at all. That was until the summer came and he could depend on that Spike Lee summer camp job. Even with his ankle broken, Spike cast him in Mo Better Blues to play a character with a broken leg. But Behind the scenes of the ups and downs of his normal life was an influence making matters worse and risking his life. Keep watching to find out what held Samuel's life hostage. In 1990, after a binge at a friend's bachelor party, his wife found him unconscious on the kitchen floor. She arranged for his admission to a rehab center. Jackson hated the tough love approach of rehab, but eventually acknowledged his alcoholism and need for excess. During rehab, Jackson lobbied Spike Lee for the role of Gator Purify in Jungle Fever. Despite concerns from his counselors, Jackson convinced them and Lee he was fit for the role. Post-rehab, Jackson played Gator. His performance was cathartic, symbolizing the end of his own addiction. In 1991, the film premiered at Cannes. Jackson's performance earned a special Best Supporting Actor award, which Lee accepted on his behalf. But their friendship took a turn, for the worse, soon after. Keep watching to find out more. Spike's dependability and constantly giving Samuel a platform to show his talent as an actor made them pretty close, and over time they grew to be friends. Spike gave him the role, and Samuel had to play it. He was put in a fortunate position where they were creating cult classic Spike Lee, Samuel L. Jackson films, but still maintaining their creativity and dynamic spirit when it came to the films and the style of acting. The characters that Samuel would play for Spike Lee, hard-shelled, explicit, and honest, shaped the character that studios would come looking for Samuel to play once his career picked up. In part, he owes part of that identity to Spike Lee. However, in 1992 they had a huge falling out. Spike Lee was set to film Malcolm X, and he wanted Samuel to play Baines in the historical epic. The problem was, Samuel knew the budget for the film would be larger, and he wanted to be paid proportionally, but Spike wanted to give him the same pay he usually would when they made movies in the summer. Spike was offering a scale plus 10 system, which made the final pay highly unpredictable, and Samuel just had to refuse. According to IndieWire, the salary refers to a pay rate for actors with a minimum daily or weekly pay rate established by the Screen Actors Guild. The plus 10 refers to the 10% of an actor's pay that goes toward their agent. Samuel took a different film, White Sands, that year instead, and that's what caused his falling out with Spike. What healed their friendship? They may have had a falling out, but their wives sure didn't. They decided they had nothing to do with it and kept holding dinners at each other's houses regardless of how their husbands felt. Eventually, after a few months of forced conversations, they forgot all about it and everything went back to normal between them. The defining moment of Jackson's career came in 1994 when he starred as Jules Winfield in Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction. This was the role that made him a staple of blockbuster action films. This role solidified his status as a Hollywood A-lister and earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. His performance as the philosophical hitman, with memorable lines and a charismatic presence, became iconic and is often cited as one of the greatest performances in cinema history. Following Pulp Fiction, Jackson's career soared. He became a sought-after actor, known for his ability to bring intensity and authenticity to a wide range of roles. His collaborations with directors like Quentin Tarantino, Steven Spielberg, and George Lucas, all mainly being action directors, further solidified this public perception of him. Jackson's roles in films such as Die Hard with a Vengeance, A Time to Kill, and Jackie Brown demonstrated his box office appeal. Samuel's association with major film franchises has significantly contributed to his global recognition. One of his most notable roles is that of Nick Fury in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. First appearing in the post-credits scene of Iron Man in 2008, Jackson's portrayal of the SHIELD director has become a cornerstone of the MCU, linking various films and characters together. His performance in films such as The Avengers, Captain America, The Winter Soldier, and Captain Marvel has been pivotal in shaping the interconnected universe that has captivated audiences worldwide. In addition to the MCU, Jackson's role as Mace Windu in the Star Wars prequel trilogy further solidified his status as a pop culture icon. Samuel L. Jackson's impact on society and culture extends beyond his filmography. As one of the most visible and successful African-American actors in Hollywood, he has broken barriers and paved the way for greater diversity and representation in the industry. His success challenges stereotypes and demonstrates that talent and hard work can overcome systemic obstacles. Jackson's distinctive voice and charismatic presence have made him a recognizable figure in popular culture. His lines from movies have become part of the lexicon, and his characters are often referenced in various media. This cultural significance is also evident in his numerous collaborations with brands and his appearances in commercials, further cementing his status as a cultural icon. Almost anything he says becomes a catchphrase of some sort, just because of his cadence and personality. Throughout his career, Samuel has remained committed to advocating for social justice and equality. He has used his platform to speak out on issues such as racism, police brutality, and voter suppression. His activism is deeply rooted in his experiences during the civil rights movement and reflects his ongoing commitment to fighting for a more just society. Samuel L. Jackson's contributions to the film industry have been widely recognized. He has received numerous awards and nominations, including an honorary Oscar in 2022 for his lifetime achievement. He also has a Hollywood Walk of Fame star and has been recognized by the NAACP Image Awards. From his early struggles in the segregated South to becoming one of Hollywood's most revered actors. Throughout the 1990s, AC Nielsen ECI, a box office tracking company, determined that Jackson appeared in more films than any other actor who grossed $1.7 billion domestically. By 2011, the films featuring Jackson as a leading actor or supporting co-star had collectively grossed between $2.81 and $4.91 billion at the North American box office. This positioned him as the seventh highest grossing lead actor and the second highest grossing actor overall, trailing only voice actor Frank Welker. In the 2009 edition of the Guinness World Records, Jackson was recognized as the world's highest grossing actor, with $742 billion generated across 68 films. By 2022, data analyzed by the Golden Globes reveals that this figure has surged to over $27 billion earned across 152 movies, solidifying Jackson's status as the highest-grossing actor and the second highest-grossing individual in the film industry, just behind Stan Lee. Right now, he's working on a live-action version film of Afro Samurai, as well as appearances across the franchises in which his character is firmly established. Besides his fantastic entertainment career, Samuel himself is quite a philanthropist. He's involved with numerous charity organizations, and one of these will definitely shock you. He's currently the chairman of One for the Boys, an organization dedicated to creating spaces for men to discuss cancer and health issues openly, instead of being afraid of speaking and suffering in silence. He's also a proponent of the Alzheimer's Association. His mother, a grandfather, an uncle, and an aunt had Alzheimer's. In 2012, he decided to partner with the organization to bring awareness to the public about the seriousness of the disease and to raise funds for families financially affected by the disease. He's also supported the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Elton John AIDS Foundation, and Luke Neuhedel Foundation. He established his own charity with his wife in 1999, named the Samuel and Latanya R. Jackson Foundation. They created it mainly to fund other organizations that they supported. Here's the kicker. According to PETA, Samuel L. Jackson is vegan and is a proponent of animal rights and humane treatment of animals. Samuel himself doesn't like pets and could never got into them. but he apparently also would prefer not to eat an animal for moral reasons. Now, despite PETA being quite proud of his moral standing, Samuel himself has never really associated with the organization itself. For the most part, he turned into a hardcore vegan after a terrible health scare when a blood clot was nearing his heart. He decided, from that moment, that he wanted to turn his health and diet around. The moral aspect was somewhat secondary to him. In interviews, Samuel has admitted that he loves watching himself in his own films, and he also enjoys collecting action figures. When he worked in theater, he always wished there was a way that he could watch himself in the play. After his lucrative entertainment career, according to Celebrity Net Worth, Jackson has a net worth of around $250 million. Samuel L. Jackson owned two multi-million-dollar homes. Want to find out how a multi-million-dollar Black Hollywood star lives? Let's find out. In 2000, Jackson had a particularly busy year starring in three major films: Unbreakable, Shaft, and Rules of Engagement. Despite his hectic schedule, he found time for real estate shopping. That same year, the Oscar nominee purchased a luxurious Beverly Hills estate from fellow actress Roseanne Barr for nearly $8.4 million. Jackson's estate spans 11,738 square feet of living space and includes 6 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms. The living room is adorned with various artworks, including Jacob Lawrence's piece, The Builder. The home also features a spacious dining area, a family room with a fireplace, an office displaying Jackson's acting accolades, a pair of autographed gloves from the legendary boxer Muhammad Ali, and a distinctive master bedroom. In addition to the main house, the property includes a guest house, originally a small ranch. The guest house boasts a screening room, a popcorn maker, and more. The perfect nook to watch his own movies. Outside, Jackson can enjoy extensive greenery filled with various trees and plants. The property also includes a swimming pool that Jackson transformed into a putting green. His current favorite hobby is a relaxing game of golf. Jackson revealed that he purchased the home to provide his daughter with a homey environment to grow up in. One day, while driving through the valley, LaTanya spotted a half-timber house with mottled brick, steep gables, and leaded windows. I stopped in the middle of the street and said, "That's it. That's the house." Despite initial skepticism from her broker and Jackson, they transformed the house into their dream home. They hired professionals to stain the woodwork, enlarge rooms, and add leaded glass to windows. The couple hired Florida-based decorator Cecil N. Hayes to tweak the interiors, creating an elegant backdrop for their collection of family heirlooms, African and African-American artworks, antiques, and movie memorabilia. The living room features paintings by Jacob Lawrence and Samuel A. Kenya, alongside a portrait by their daughter Zoe, now a high school senior bound for Vassar. The family room's collection of rustic model houses and the hallway's pair of Italian Moors are among the many treasures Jackson has acquired over the years. Samuel has rented out his expansive Upper East Side home at the Leonore. The Beaux Arts building at 26 E 63rd St., near Madison Avenue, was one of the city's first pre-wars to convert to condos in 1983. The 3,000-square-foot co-op was last listed at $15,000 per month for a year, down from its earlier $18,000 a month asking price. They had previously listed it for $13 million in 2018, after purchasing it for $4.8 million in 2005 from retired NBA star Greg Anthony and his novelist ex-wife, Crystal McCrary. The rental, located in a 13-story Leonore building, features 4 bedrooms and 3 1-2 bathrooms, blending traditional elements with a modern, streamlined sensibility. Highlights include 10-foot-high ceilings and numerous built-ins. The open dining area connects to a sleek eat-in chef's kitchen via a wet bar nook, and then flows into a den with a wall of built-ins. The turn-of-the-century building boasts a limestone base and a storied history. The couple previously owned a brownstone at 522 W 143rd St., which they bought for $35,000 in 1981 and sold for $125,000 in 1997, according to the New York Times. Samuel L. Jackson leads a pretty normal life off-screen and isn't a huge fan of thrills and frills. The cars he drives are shockingly ordinary. You will barely believe it. Here are the cars Samuel owns and drives. The Toyota Camry, a favorite among Americans, reflects Jackson's preference for practicality and is perfect for blending in, much like his character Nick Fury evades attention. Jackson's choice of cars shows that he is not so different from the average person, with most vehicles in his garage being accessible to the general public. One of the highlights of Jackson's collection is the Jaguar XF, a car that showcases his sophisticated side, not typically seen in his movies. The Jaguar XF has been called one of the most beautiful British cars ever made, combining power and comfort, qualities that make it a fitting choice for the star. Jackson also owns a Land Rover Range Rover Sport, a versatile SUV known for its performance in various segments. He purchased this car after visiting the Ferrari factory in 2014. No A-list celebrity collection is complete without a Rolls-Royce, and Jackson is no exception. Interestingly, despite its allure, it is not the most expensive car in his collection. That title goes to the Mercedes-Benz Maybach 57S, valued at a staggering $400,000. This special version of the Maybach holds a special place in his garage, surpassing the Rolls-Royce Phantom in terms of price and exclusivity. Samuel married LaTanya Richardson, a talented actress in her own right, in 1980. LaTanya Richardson attended Spelman College, a prestigious historically black liberal arts college for women in Atlanta. During her time at Spelman, she joined the college's drama club and participated in theatrical productions. It was here, through the Atlanta University Center, that she met Samuel L. Jackson, a student at the neighboring Morehouse College. Their mutual passion for acting and involvement in the local theater scene brought them together, and they began dating in 1970. Richardson's early acting career was primarily rooted in theater. After graduating from Spelman in 1971, she moved to New York City to find more work. She appeared in numerous off-Broadway productions and gained a reputation as a talented and dedicated actress. Her stage work included roles in plays like For Colored Girls Who Have Considered Suicide, When the Rainbow Is Enough, a groundbreaking piece by Ntozake Shange that explored the experiences of African-American women. Throughout her career, Richardson remained active in theater. In 2014, she earned a Tony Award nomination for Best Featured Actress in a play for her role in the Broadway revival of A Raisin in the Sun, where she starred alongside Denzel Washington. The pair have been happily married for 44 years. LaTanya took a step down from a career for a while to focus on raising her daughter and returned to theater in the late 2010s. The couple has one daughter, Zoe Jackson. She was born in 1982. Although her parents chose a life in the spotlight, she chose a career path behind the camera and has been working as a producer. She produced the shows Project Runway, Top Chef, Chopped, and RuPaul's Drag Race, for which she won an Emmy Award in 2021 for Best Producer and a Producers Guild of America Award in 2022. Click on this next video to find out more about another Black Hollywood star whose real personality will shock you. Have you seen Pulp Fiction?